Weirdest thing. Every time I try to put some effort forth, I actually edit a video, actually get some clips and try to put some effort into it instead of just talking into a camera, I lose subscribers. So here you go. There's as low effort as you can possibly get. I didn't brush my hair. There's dickheads across the street doing gardening, and there's going to be a bunch of background sound. Enjoy the low quality trash tent, I guess. Let's talk about Risten. Because I'm in a bad mood, and sometimes you gotta remember the people who left a positive impression in your life. My hair looks so stupid right now. It's really annoying me. Who cares? This is good content, right? I love Risten because this dude was just always positive all the effing time. And I think one of the reasons for that is that he just never ever talked about politics. Period. He just stayed completely away from it, had nothing to do with it. And I've always thought to myself, wow, here's a person who doesn't have a bunch of extra bullcrap weighing them down and causing them to be anxious and frustrated and short and curt with other people and make a bunch of baseless accusatory assumptions about someone else because they just don't care. And I've always tried to be that way myself as much as I can, because it just seems like the way to go. But he always was cool, bro. Not just that aspect, but like, he was always encouraging and positive to other people. Like, if a EXP party went really poorly and lasted 20 minutes and there's a wipe and you only gained like 50 EXP and wasted a bunch of time and food, he would always be one of the first people to offer up a, hey, sorry to hear that, bud, semicolon lowercase x. Maybe you've seen me use that emoticon before. I got it from Risten, actually. See? There's a dump truck squealing in the background now. I should get like 10 subs from this, apparently. But like Risten, when I first joined the game on retail, he was like a level 35 something bard, something like that. And he was playing with the homie Grim Reaper, who was a Hume Black Mage. Risten was a Mithra with, the white hair and like the spikes, the bangs on the side. The most common Mithra hair. But anytime I see that hairstyle, and I know a lot of people use it, sorry, when I see that, I just think of Risten before anyone else. Sorry, Aliana. You know I love you, but you look like Risten to me. I think that's probably just because I played with Risten more than like anyone else way back in the day. Because that was back when he didn't have a static party. It was just him and Grim. And around level 40, something like that, my thief was in that level range, and the three of us decided, hey, let's party up and see who else from the Link Show wants to join us. And we just, did all of our AFs together, that sort of thing. And the thing that I loved about Risten was, because this has already happened to me with someone else, the way I got to level 40. Oh no, the air conditioning's turned on. I should get 1 million subscribers now. Damn. Like, I already got to level 40 with this one dude who was like, yo, I'm gonna make a new character. I'm gonna make a Galka ninja, and I need a thief for this to do stuff. And bear in mind, I was like online 24 hours a day back then. And me, this one ninja dude, and 2 other people from the Link Show were like, yo, we're gonna static party, right? Yeah, sure, we're gonna static party. And then this ninja dude log on the next day, and because he literally never logged off, and he was 2 levels above all of us. And we were like, dude, I thought we were in a static party. And he was like, oh, well, I got one party invite and it was really good, so, I just took what I could get. 4 days later, he was 5 levels above everyone else because he just wouldn't stop partying with other people. So that static party fell completely apart. And I just loved Risten for being, of all things, a bard who decided, no, I'm going to level with these people, therefore I will only level with these people. I appreciated that a lot more after having that happen to me. One of the things that I always loved Risten for was that I could always come to him with my problems. Like any kind of problem that I had going on, I think I was maybe like 12 years younger than him or something, maybe more. But, growing up in America as a young man, there's certain problems that some people just never deal with because they're embarrassed to talk about them. But Risten never made me feel embarrassed for having issues that I couldn't sort out on my own, He was always there to not just lend a sympathetic ear, but he didn't just give like random feel-good advice. Like, what he had to say always felt very genuine, sincere, and precise and specific of things a person can do, new ways to develop, new ways to develop new ways to think. I didn't want to use word redundancy, but there you go, whatever. Like, just mental conditioning, He was really, really good at that. And that made him more than just some bard who makes us stronger in an EXP party. Like, Risten, to me, it will always be my favorite bard. Because, like I said, he didn't just buff the stats in the party. He actually, supported the actual people playing the game as well. We got to know each other really, really well over years and years of playing together. And to me, that's why he's always been one of the most special players that I've ever had the good fortune and blessing to be able to play with. So many other people are just in it for themselves. How good can I make my character? And screw everyone else in the process. Risten was just never like that. Matter of fact, one of my favorite memories of Risten was, as I recall, and someone correct me on this if I'm wrong, but this is what my memory says, so I'm going to say it. Our buddy, Endymion, I probably said that wrong. Endymion? How do you pronounce that name? You know that name what I'm talking about. He was still part of our social shell, but he was in one of the first endgame king camping shells on Leviathan on retail. He was just one of the first players that was really decked out and had a bunch of gear necessary to actually take these things down. As a result, he ended up being one of the first North American players to get an E-body abjuration. Huge deal. Goes to the auction house. There's no cursed hauberks for sale. Oh, okay. Well, I know a guy at 100 plus 2 gold, or 100 plus 2 crafting to make it. So I'll just get all the materials, and there's no southern pearls. So shout in, a couple. He comes into our social shell into Solaris, and he's like, "Yo, can someone help me get a southern pearl?" So we're all shouting in Juno, Bastok, Winter, Sandoria, literally shouting everywhere. No one has a southern pearl. There are none in the world available right now. So it's like, it's time for a Link Shell Notorious Monster Hunt. Everyone get into Sea Serpent Grotto. We're going to fight that freaking Pugil NM. We're going to get your Southern Pearl. You're going to craft that Cursed Hauberk. And we're all going to be standing there when you uncurse it, homie. Risten was part of that group. So was Victalisa, I think. To give you an idea of how long ago this was. And I think we had 2 parties. We had a party of 6 and then a party of 3. And we were just goofing, We hung around the spot where the NM's going to appear, but we kind of just pulled everything from 10 miles around and just kept fighting everything. And, people skilling things up. Red mages skilling up their daggers. White mages skilling up their staves. I was there on Paladin skilling up my greatsword while we're waiting for the NM to pop. And, you know, we're just goofing. We're just having a time, right? And Risten, I believe, got a little wine drunk around this time. Because Risten was literally like the most G-rated MMORPG player of all time. Like, he pretty much just never cussed. He never swore. He never insulted anyone, except for Naya. That should tell you something. But while we're all waiting around up on that one ledge, everyone's just kind of talking about this and that. And Risten, of all people, pops off with /EM, rolls around on the floor, shoves a bunch of catnip in her face, and then starts touching herself until she makes a larger puddle than the pools of water that are already on the floor. Something to that extent. And we were all, and literally everyone was just like, Risten, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, line after line after line, everyone just losing their mind. Like, Risten, are you serious right now? You are doing that? Of all people? You playing? And his only reaction to that was to type in party chat and say semicolon lowercase x. That was his only reaction to it. He didn't defend it. He didn't explain it. He just said, little winky face. You want to know why I remember that so much? Because 10 seconds after he made that emoticon, the NM popped. And then it started, then everyone was like, dude, you lured it out. And so for a while, we all made a joke about how that Pugil NM was just like a horny MFer and got thirst trap lured out by Risten, of all people, doing that emote. Still can't get over that. Still can't believe that was actually him. But, yeah, that all happened. And so Andy had to go and get his cursed Hauberg made with the knowledge of how that Southern Pearl came to be in his possession. Oh, I love Risten, man. It was just dope. Like, you know, like the weird thing is, I swear, so many Bard players are scandalous, you know? There's always controversy that follows them around. But Risten was the dude who just logged in Carpenter's Landing and killed the thunder elementals that appeared there for his money, and that's about it. He didn't level anything else for quite some time, but eventually he started playing Paladin, and I always thought it fit him, and it suited him really well. But gosh, man, there will never be anyone quite like Risten. Which is probably a good thing. Nonetheless, I miss him. He is unfortunately one of the many people that I lost contact with when I was stupid enough to become an opioid addict. And I think about him quite frequently, how cool he was. And he always inspired me, you know, to like remember the people you're playing the game with. They're not just objects to help you achieve your goals. They're people. They have goals too. And the game is just better when we all reach for goals together. We lift each other up so that we can attain what we want. And Risten, to me, will always be a shining star example of that kind of player. One of the most selfless people I've known, period, quite frankly. Be more like Risten, except maybe don't emote those types of things. That's a little racy. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what you're into. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your time. Have a good one. God bless. I'm out.